On a heavy winter night, as the wind howled over the walls of a secluded monastery in the heart of the Czech Republic, a pale-faced monk sat before a wide wooden table, a thick leather scroll spread out beside him, as if waiting for a secret to be revealed. The manuscript was later called the Codex Gigas. But people would come to know it by another, more dreadful name, the Devil's Gospel. The story, as legends tell it, begins with the harsh sentence handed down to a monk who had broken the monastery's rules. He was said to have committed an unforgivable sin and was condemned to be imprisoned alive within the walls. Faced with a slow death, he asked for one last chance, to compile, in a single night, a book that would encompass all of human knowledge, a book that would immortalize the monastery's name. The monks laughed at his audacity. How could one man write an entire encyclopedia before dawn? But the night was long, and sometimes, longer than it should be. The monk sat in a cold room, the candle slowly melting, the quill scratching the parchment with a sound like a whisper. He wrote sacred texts, dates, medical prescriptions, moral teachings, and even entire passages from the Bible. The book grew larger, page after page, as if it were breathing. But midnight brought the unexpected. The story goes that when the monk realized he couldn't complete his work alone, he fell to his knees, and instead of raising his prayer to heaven, he turned to another direction. He made a vow in the darkness, promising to immortalize the image of whoever helped him within the pages of the book. And when dawn broke, the book was finished. Huge, heavy, too large to be the work of one hand. On one of its pages, in the center of the manuscript, is a full-scale image of a demon with human features, staring with wide eyes, as if they know the reader better than the reader knows himself. There are no scenes of torment or fire around it, only a silent emptiness, as if its mere existence were enough. And since then, the book has become an enigma. Medieval scholars found no difference in the script, the same ink, the same style, the same hand. As if one person had indeed written it, but over many years, not in a single night. So where did the legend come from? The manuscript traveled through wars and fires, from monastery to palace, from city to city, until it finally found its way to a library far from its original home. The book survived the flames when the building around it burned, as if the wind had carried it away with an unseen hand. Today, the visitor stands before its glass pages, not only to see a depicted demon, but also to contemplate humanity's fear of the unknown, and of its own creative power. Perhaps the monk made no pact with the darkness. Perhaps the legend is simply a human attempt to understand how persistence, solitude, and patience can produce a work that seems beyond human capacity. But something in the eyes of the painted devil still whispers. Not everything we fear is external. Sometimes, the greatest shadows are born from within. And so the Codex Gigas remained, not as a gospel of the devil, but as a mirror of the Middle Ages, a time when faith and fear inhabited the same page.